intro.
Okay.
There you go. Terry, would you like to just give us a quick little intro for people who are just watching the recording?
Okay, you want to turn it off and back on?
I can cut it out.
Okay. Oh, you can cut it out.
Yeah.
Well, we're all here because we are passionate about the topic of gratitude, and whoever's on or watching this after the fact, we're so excited to have you guys here. And I just suggested that anybody that has their oil, grab it, marinate yourself in it, and and I'm sending it to Bev and Elizabeth because they're outside right now. But
Catching it.
Yay! It's just so glorious. I remember the year Gary Young came out with this. It was amazing. So, just a little thing for us to think about, you guys. And it's Terry Seacrest here with the amazing Royal Dream Team. A little thing to think about in starting, you guys. I really believe that gratitude and joy, sorry, I'm stuck on the screen here. Gratitude and joy are inseparable friends. I even think that you could actually have gratitude and maybe not even still feel joyful, but I don't think you can have joy without gratitude. And so this is why, what we love about Young Living is Young Living gives us tools to just help us on our journey. Forgiveness is a great example. If you're not ready to forgive, you can breathe all the forgiveness oil you want and pretty much not get great results. But if you're in your heart, if you're ready to forgive, that forgiveness oil is truly amazing. Why am I stuck? Sorry. But anyway, so guys, if you have a little pen and paper just to get us thinking about this topic, if you have a little pen and paper, think about this. Gratitude starts in our home. So, for example, everyone that's married, are you daily expressing gratitude to your spouse? Are you daily expressing gratitude to your mom or your dad or your grandparents, your children, whoever's in your home, because that's where it starts. So, as a Young Living ambassador, as a messenger, as a health messenger, we get to start everything in our heart, and then it goes into our home and out. Now, I had a situation last week that all my close friends know about, where, boy, did I ever let life circumstances hijack my joy. Let's put it that way. And I got to the point, you guys, where I'm like, okay, Bev, I have to leave town.
I'm out of here.
I told Elizabeth, like, this is it. I'm not being very successful right now with my own joy and gratitude. So getting out of town for 3 days and I would say, getting my gyroscope back centered, getting everything centered again, and digging into that question of gratitude. And I had to write down, you guys, I had to write down anything I could think of at the moment that I was grateful for. Friends, grateful for my home, all of these things in order to get my spirit back where it needed to be. And would you guys agree that it is amazing when we do get our gratitude back where it needs to be, how things go better? Do you guys agree with that? Just, if you agree with that, say it out loud or stick it in the chat. So this is a tool to help us when we're ready to just step into that deep gratitude. And my sister Jan, you are the epitome of grateful. I'm just saying, and a lot of times we don't feel that way about our siblings, do we? But I'm telling you, Jan is the epitome of grateful. So this is a tool to help us when we say, man, my gratitude's not where it needs to be, but I want it to be there. So Bev and Elizabeth have some really interesting things to share that they've been working on. And I can't wait to hear the things you guys have been ready to share with us, girls.
Well, wonderful. And Terry, can I just say that I think your commitment to gratitude I'm actually grateful for your commitment to gratitude, because I think if I think back on some of the key legacy points that you have, where you've really made a difference in my life, I would say in like a heart and thoughtfulness, about gratitude is probably one of those things. And like, I don't know how you feel about, I mean, she's your mom, right? But I know like sometimes when somebody's our mom, we just assume everybody's like that, right? But I think that if anybody has the authority to speak on living an attitude of gratitude, it would probably be you. Like you have to be one of the most grateful people I know. What do you think?
I think it is wonderful, the joy factor that mom mentioned, because it is hard to be joyful without gratitude. And I would say the thing that I notice about my amazing mother, Terry Seacrest, is that she's just genuinely joyful. And that aspect of joy is what wells out of her on a daily basis, and I think flows over to other people. So because we need gratitude to remain joyful, I think I'm realizing that her ability to like focus on being grateful probably is something that's helpful for you to stay joyful.
I'd agree.
Well, you're very sweet, Elizabeth. I want to point out, honey, that you may or may not remember this, but when you and I lived in Arizona, we had these friends named Dennis and, excuse me,
Yeah.
Oh, I know who you're talking about with
no,
The painters, yes.
yes,
Gail and Denny.
Gail and Denny, Gail and Denny.
Yeah, Gail and Denny.
And I think this will be a fun thing to share with our audience today.
I would, because I think that was a pivotal moment for you. That was like
Yes.
a aha moment of gratitude for you.
Honey, it was a pivotal moment in my life. And what happened was I was in a very, very difficult life circumstance, really struggling with how to find gratitude at that period in my life. And, you know, when we can't find it, sometimes we can have a glorious pity party. So that's kind of where I was at. Well, Elizabeth and the boys and I met this family, Gail and Denny, and they were at the time in their 60s. And Gail would call me in the middle of the summer in Arizona. She'd go, Terry, let's go play tennis. I said, Gail, it's 110 out. She goes, I know, it's just perfect tennis weather. 110, right? And I would be okay, you know, and get out, you know, because she knew that I was going through this pity party. And she would get me out of the house and we would play tennis. And even though it was so hot, I would feel better. And then, you know, a week later, so, hey, Terry, let's take the kids and go here or there, you know. And it was just very intentional. Well, here's what happened. Denny was a basketball coach and he retired, but at 60, but they didn't have enough money to retire. So they thought, well, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? You know, what do we love doing? And they discovered that they love painting, like interior painting. So they started a little painting company and they painted people's interiors of their home. Well, here was the claim to fame. And when I say gratitude, this is like how they were. So they would, as soon as they finish a job, they would scrub out the paint can really good. Gail would make chocolate chip cookies, put them in the paint can, put a big ribbon around it with a handwritten note. Thank you for the honor of painting your home. And they would drop it off on the doorstep of the person. Well, they became so famous in this little town of Fountain Hills, Arizona, because of their gratitude, they could not handle all the customers they had. And at age 70, they retired, bought their dream home, went to clown school. I didn't know there was such a thing as clown school, and they became clowns. And they had a clown ministry that traveled all over Arizona to different churches doing clown ministry. So cool.
That is such a fun story, because I remember them as well. And Gail was actually the one that turned us on to Lori Line piano books.
Oh.
And if you guys need a really good piano player, check out Lori Line. I think it's Lory
I
and
think it's
then
an I.
Line or yeah,
Yeah.
Lori. and then
Mhm.
like Lyne. But anyways, you'll find her and it's just gorgeous. And so it makes me think of Gail's ability to be grateful and have that joy is even the music that she listened to and played on their amazing baby grand piano had that theme and that flair of joy.
I love that. Honey, I love that. And by the way, she fell off the ladder because in Arizona, the homes are 1 story, super, super tall ceilings. She fell off the ladder and really injured herself really bad.
Oh,
And she did not let that ruin her gratitude and joy. So just such a great example.
that's
Mhm.
amazing. That's so good to hear. And to get uh, to get into a little bit of the practical nature in the science, like, we're talking heart, but we're also talking science. I think one of the really interesting things about how the good Lord wired us, okay, is we are wired just a little bit for a certain amount of anxiety, okay? Our bodies look around to try to decide what's different. What do I have to do about what's around me? And we can get into a fight or flight mode really, really easily. And the problem that happens to our bodies when we're in that fight or flight, when it is stressful, is that a lot of cortisol gets released into our system. Cortisol is the stress hormone, and it loves to lock on body fat. It's like saving up for the day that you have to flee the enemy, right? So it's like, we're just going to hold on to all of this fat and all of these calories. And so if you carry a little bit of extra weight, and you're noticing that that extra weight is particularly around your middle, usually that is stubborn weight that is caused by cortisol. But cortisol, it causes other problems as well. It overloads our adrenal glands and makes it really difficult for us to fall asleep, right? It also causes our hearts to race. If you have had racing heart or heart palpitations, many times that is because of that fight or flight, that cortisol release. Well, you guys and Terry, I don't know. These are new studies. Okay, so I'm not sure if you guys have had a chance to read them, but there are some new studies that have come out that says that getting into the heart of gratitude, having a heart for gratitude, um, it literally takes your body out of fight or flight mode and it puts it into a mode that is really called sit and reflect. Okay. You think that we don't have an opposite to fight or flight, but we do. And it's what happens when your brain clicks into your parasympathetic nervous system. That's what's involved in lowering your heart rate and the upsides physically to getting into gratitude and having a gratitude mindset are things like a lowered heart rate, or I should say, a healthy heart rate. If your heart rate is already low and you get into gratitude, it's not like you'll just immediately start falling asleep or something like that. Okay. So this is healthy to do if you have a low heart rate. But it will calm your heart rate. It will physically improve your digestion, because you'll be able to kind of let go of that gut feeling, right? Like if
Mhm.
you are in a high stress environment, your gut is always a little tense because it's out there sensing things, right? So it will improve your digestion. And one really surprising fact, and it's funny, Terry, that you had mentioned Gail falling off the ladder, is that when you're in gratitude, your body will literally heal faster. All of your body with all of the your healing processes, your immune system, instead of focusing on we want to keep energy to the immune system low in case we have to run out of here or fight somebody, now
Mhm.
that energy can be redirected to things like your immune system, like healing, and all of these lovely things will actually go into your bloodstream that has a true effect on your actual body. Like, isn't that amazing?
It's
Yeah,
fabulous.
yeah, isn't it amazing? Because so many studies show that if we can help people heal emotionally, then their body heals so much quicker. That's so beautiful.
Well, looking at that physical and emotional element, we know that essential oils work on a physical level for sure, but they work on such an amazing emotional level too. So, like you're talking about the cortisol, that fight or flight is a physical, right? It
It
starts
is.
out as a physical, but it soon transitions to be an emotional thing
Yes.
that we hold on to in our mindset, what we think about, how we process becomes the emotional physical bond.
Yes, and so here's something really interesting to try, everyone. And Terry, this might be really interesting for you as well with the clients that you work with. The next time that you have a client that talks about poor circulation, so we're talking cold hands, cold feet, that can also be a thyroid thing, right? So use more questions. Get into Terry's system of asking a lot of questions about cold hands, cold feet, and fluid backup, like when they have that edema, that fluid backup in their ankles and their feet. I know that the thought is to reach for juniper, right? Because juniper will help with circulation. But give gratitude a try, because another one of these studies actually shows that having a heart of gratitude will actually improve your circulation and take the stress off of your cardiovascular system. And Elizabeth, would you
Wow.
mind talking about the oils that are in gratitude? Because I feel like juniper is in there, but
Yes.
I couldn't quite remember.
Yes. Okay. I'm pulling it up on my phone here.
And all we're doing, you guys, in case you're wondering where we're finding out this mysterious information, we're literally on the Young Living website.
Yeah.
And we've gone to we've gone to the gratitude page and we've scrolled down under ingredients and we're looking at that ingredient section, just in case you want to know where to find that.
There you go. Exactly. So it has balsam Canada. So that's a balsam fir, okay, from the needles of the fir tree, frankincense, coriander seed oil, myrrh, ylang ylang, bergamot, northern lights black spruce,
Ooh.
vetiver, and geranium.
Oh, geranium. Okay, so juniper isn't in there. But oh my gosh, those are really good
Geranium
oils.
be helpful for circulation though,
It
I
can be.
believe. And all of the balsam, the let's see, and then the Northern Lights black spruce are just very grounding, like earthy tree oils. The beautiful thing is rose used to be the highest frequency of oil at 320 megahertz. Yeah. However, a few years ago, they discovered Northern Lights black spruce is about over 500 megahertz. So
One of my
what's
favorite
so
oils.
fascinating is all essential oils are very oxygenizing, right? Like if you're inhaling it, it's helping the brain be able to absorb more oxygen. So the beautiful thing about inhaling gratitude is not only that beautiful high frequency of the oils, but also the oxygenating properties just kick the brain into speed. But using the essential oil along with being very thoughtful and prayerful is, I would say, the most powerful way to use it, because we can use it to relax and like release and transition from one way of processing into the new way of processing with
So
gratitude.
good.
Elizabeth, something you just said is, I'm sitting here breathing it while you're talking. And I think what's so beautiful is this oil is neither masculine nor feminine. It's a really good combination of both. And now that you're saying that it's got the two tree oils in it, now I can understand why I think it's very appealing to both men and women.
Well, and if we want to look at the historicity of it, okay, frankincense and myrrh was given to Jesus 2,000 years ago. So this stuff has been in play
So true.
for 3,000 years. And, reading the One Gift book, doing the book club was so much fun because Gary wrote that as a story. It wasn't an educational book, it was a story of Shutran. And throughout it, there were so many times where Shutran was the leader of this camel caravan, and he would talk about using frankincense or myrrh during prayer time to just help get centered and focused. And there were several times where it'd be like after a battle or at night when he couldn't sleep and he'd have a dream and he'd be like, I just need to connect right now. And he'd go get his frankincense and he would actually take the crystals and eat it.
Mhm.
He would like suck on the frankincense crystals. And so it just made me think, like, this stuff has been around for so long. Why would we not use it and allow it to just benefit our life now in such an amazing way?
So good. You know what's interesting? I wonder this. So geranium is excellent for your skin, and geranium is also really good for like unlocking um uh
Buried emotions, buried emotions.
Cellulite.
yeah, well,
But
your
Cellulite,
emotions,
okay.
but cellulite also.
Okay.
but in cellulite can be toxins, and our emotions actually can be stored in
Yeah,
cells too.
so true. But okay, so geranium's very good for the skin. Frankincense is also really good for the
Oh,
skin.
absolutely.
And so it
And
almost makes me want to go, huh, I wonder what would happen if I just put a little drop of geranium into my daily face moisturizer.
of
Like what that would, yeah,
geranium?
not geranium, gratitude.
Gratitude, yeah.
Like what that could do for your skin. But I do know this. Okay, so getting back a little bit to the science part, um, when you have that heart of gratitude, your body literally increases your serotonin level and increases your dopamine level, which means that all of those really good feel good neurotransmitters are literally boosted by gratitude. It lifts up your mood and it will help to combat anxiety and depression when you have that heart of gratitude. And more than that, practicing gratitude will literally rewire your brain for optimism, but will also rewire your brain to resilience. It
Mhm.
will make you, so it's kind of like, Terry, that it does help the situation at hand, right? But as we know, you never get hit by something in your life just once and then it just
Yeah.
goes away, right? And you're
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, so glad I got
That'd
through
be
that.
way too easy.
It would be way too easy. But when you can get through something,
Mhm.
especially maintaining your gratitude that is so rough, all of a sudden, the next thing that you thought would take you down, you barely give it a second thought. Barely give it a second thought because you have now become so resilient and your body will build that resilience through a heart of gratitude.
This is really fascinating what you're saying, because I did experience that last week, now that you mention it. And the other thing that Elizabeth talks about music, you guys, when you play really good, happy music or praise music or whatever, that goes hand in hand with that resilience and just being able to laugh at your circumstances. Can I mention a story totally unscientific, you girls? Totally
Oh, please
unscientific.
do. We love a good anecdote.
Oh my gosh. I had a client, a lady, and she's sitting in my office and she's like, Terry, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I said, what's the problem? She said, my husband is always grumpy. He's so grumpy, I can't even stand to be around him. And I said, oh, that is kind of serious, you know? And I said, well, I said, is he willing to breathe any oils? And she goes, oh, are you kidding? Absolutely not. He thinks they're snake oil. I said, okay. I said, let's look at this another way. I said, take your gratitude oil and put it in his shoes at night after he goes to bed. Marinate the bottoms of his shoes with gratitude. And then you wear it as a perfume, you know, during the day, and make sure that you get around him, like in the kitchen or whatever. Literally about 3 days goes by, and this lady calls me. She goes, by golly, it worked.
That's great. I love that story. And it's so it's just such a lovely way to kind of show somebody that you care. And let me tell you something else. Okay, so gratitude, it boosts that dopamine, it boosts some serotonin, but let me tell you this as well. gratitude also boosts your oxytocin, which is like the love hormone, right? So
Ooh.
the oxytocin is what, like, when mothers hold their babies and you're just snuggling those sweet, squishy little faces, your body gets flooded with oxytocin. And here's the truth about gratitude, you guys. Gratitude strengthens relationships. And strengthening relationships in your life increases your oxytocin. It is linked to feelings of bonding and of safety and of healing, both physically and emotionally. So, if you are trying to build a good relationship with someone, or if you are trying to build a great relationship with your customers and your clients, a great way to do that is through gratitude. And so, Terry, Jan, Mia, Ellen, what are some great ways, and Elizabeth also, can you share just some good ways that you have shown gratitude towards your clients and your customers? Jan, would you like to go first?
Why, of course, I would love to go first. I'm just been sitting here smelling this gratitude, remembering when Gary first introduced it at convention. I can remember that so well, Terry. And I vaguely remember him saying, I knew I needed to do a gratitude oil, but I had been waiting on one oil for the formula. And I think it's when they finally distilled Northern Lights Black Spruce. I think that's the one he was waiting for.
Oh,
And
Jan.
I just checked my shelf. I think I have 6 of these sitting over there. And there's at
Oh
least
my
more
goodness.
around the house. And I always carry one when I travel. So I think one of the things that is for us, I am so used to using oils all the time. And it becomes so automatic that I forget that other people, clients or customers or family members, may not be as attuned to it as I am. So one of the things that, if I'm doing an appointment, if I'm doing a class, or I'm with the family, I really try to make sure the diffuser's running. And usually I'll just share, hey, I'm diffusing whatever today, or hey, what do you guys think is in the diffuser? I'm diffusing XYZ. Um, and and when people walk in our home, they typically will say, "Oh wow, what is that smell? It smells so good." And it really doesn't matter what you have in the diffuser, because it's an aroma that typically, if you aren't a diffusing family, you won't notice it in somebody else's home. So, oh, and our puppies love them too. Our little puppies love them. Our new puppy loves them. But so I think one of the things that I really try to do with people is just be like a walking diffuser and be encouraging. So encouraging people to kind of step out of their comfort zone. Like we all have the 4 or 5 that we use all the time. And then we've got all these others that are so fabulous, but sometimes you get bogged down and, well, what do I use next? And when you guys were teaching on this, I was looking up on the shelf in my office and I saw a little package of rollers. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make myself either a 5 or a 10 ml roller bottle with gratitude and just V6, or I might use jojoba or castor oil or whatever, and just have it in my purse all the time. And it's interesting how sometimes a roller bottle is easier to just apply quickly than it is to open the lid, get the drops, and spread it around. Because with the roller, you just open the lid and then you roll. And we do that often, like on the way to a meeting or appointment, on the way to church, we'll say, hey, who needs Valor? Who needs whatever?
Mhm.
And we just pass the roller bottle around, and it's
That's
easier to.
great.
So anyway,
That's such a great tip,
Great
Jan. Such a great tip.
Yeah.
For those of you, well, Elizabeth was with us in France and Italy, and Elizabeth, remember that Corey gave everybody a roller ball of the biblical oils. Remember that?
That was so glorious. That was a huge.
Yes. Yeah. And so we had this chef that prepared meals in France, and her son, who I would say he was probably in his 40s, came to help his mom prepare all these meals for us. And one day I said, hey, David, would you like to smell this? And I got my roller out, put it on his wrist, and he stopped in his tracks and he goes, oh my gosh, I just have chills. I just have chills. And he could not stop telling me that. He's like, what is that? What is that? So I think that some people just are so sensitive, and all it takes is just a little bit of something for them to respond and go, what is this and how do I get it?
Exactly, Terry. I agree. And we use so much and we just douse ourselves with it. But I really think that we don't have to use that intense amount of oil either on ourselves or introducing it to other people to have them have a connection to it. In fact, I was reading something, I think it was Dr. Doug Corrigan. He does such great posts and he teaches so much about the chemistry of oils. And he's a very good teacher, but he's talking about the fact that you guys don't realize how concentrated these oils are. They are like one drop is millions of constituents in one drop. And so just thinking about that, maybe
Yeah.
putting more oils in rollers and using those as little gifts and as way, because it doesn't take that much. And the rollers, you can get them in packs of 10. They're not that expensive.
Mhm.
But and the roller bottles at 40 use that we got in our beautiful France packets, they were gorgeous. They were kind of the glass was a little bit etched type thing. It was beautiful.
Yeah, it was a little frosty.
Yeah. And so you can find those. And so just a great way, even as a gift for who knows what, whatever you need to have a gift for, it can really be a blessing to people.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And here's what's interesting, just talking again about just the science of the gratitude side. People who consistently practice gratitude actually live longer and healthier lives because stress and inflammation are actually reduced long term. So, if you want to talk about adding to your longevity and the vitality in which you live your life, practicing gratitude, it should be a regular thing that you do on a daily basis. It's almost like gratitude is a daily vitamin for your body. It lowers stress, it lifts your mood, it balances your hormones. It strengthens your immune system. It protects your heart. It even helps you sleep better. And I'm telling you, if there was a pill, like if people were able to walk into their doctor and their doctors were like, listen, here is a little pill for you to take that will do all of those things, lower your stress and yada yada. But people would be lining up for it. But it's like, it's not a pill, you guys, it's a practice. And Terry, I would love for you to share a little bit about just the practice of gratitude. I know, sometimes you do gratitude journaling. I mean, can you talk just a little bit about that?
Sure. And real quick, I did want to show you guys this. So this is that bottle that Corey got off of Amazon. I mean, it looks like, gosh, it almost looks like a bottle you would get in a French perfumery. And because it's so special, but it's so very inexpensive. And like Jan said, you just go down the street, you're in your car, you're driving in your car, you're at the stoplight and you put it on, and then whoa, it feels better. Everybody around you feels better. Well, the practice of gratitude has been a many year journey for me. And there's no limit to it at all. Like there's just no limit. Like the other day, we have a dear friend that has gone through surgery. And I just woke up and I thought, oh my gosh, what can I do? I can bake bread and cinnamon rolls and take them over to her. And so sometimes it's like a physical act of that. Sometimes it's just writing a little note and sticking it on the refrigerator, or I like to send my kids, we have a family email thing. I think you do too, Bev, a family group thing, and just tell them how much I love them and how spectacular they are and things like that. So I think there's no limit to it at all. But it is a choice. It definitely is a choice because life does try to bring a lot of curveballs. And the more that we can stay in gratitude and thanks to God, for our life and for our blessings, the more that some of those things that come against us can melt away quicker. I guess that's the way I kind of like to say it, Bev.
And another thing, Terry, what you just said is, I mean, it's so beautiful, and it's, I mean, I observe that in you and how you incorporate that just in everything that you do. It's really a part of who you are. And and that it's attractive to people. People love a heart like that. And people that don't have a heart like that gravitate to that because they want to learn that when they're open to it. So just thinking about the kind of people that you want to surround you, if you demonstrate that with people, you're going to attract the kind of people that also want to live like that, that also want to bring joy. And it'll be a huge blessing. It's
You
like,
know, Jan, I hope Lotta is still on. I can't see her, but is she still on Facebook Live, Beverly? Lotta? Because Jan, Lotta is the same way. You talk about, I love what you said, because the law of attraction is just that, you know, when you are in that state of gratitude and when your body's natural frequency is high, by using your oils daily, which raises your body's natural frequency, it helps us to think better thoughts. And it all starts with our thinking, doesn't it, Jan? I mean, it really, like when the Bible says to take every thought captive, it means that the minute we start to think some horrible negative thing, or maybe we think bad about another person, we're like, no, no, no. I take that thought captive and I'm going to think good things about this person. I'm not going to, or let's say somebody's gossiping. You're like, no, no, no. I'm not going to be gossiping with you. You guys are going to have to go your own way because I'm choosing to see the best in this person. And that's a beautiful thing about oils in general, is that when it raises our body's natural vibrational frequency, it does oxygenate our brain, like Elizabeth said, and it helps us think higher thoughts about ourselves and about other people.
yes, yes. Yeah, totally. And what's that old saying? Smile and
The
sometimes
world smiles with you.
and everyone smiles with you, cry and you cry alone.
Yeah.
It's like, being a crab and being a grumpy old thing, who wants to be around somebody like that?
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, and then,
Nobody does.
in America, and when you see the world and you see where we live and you see all the blessings that we have, I choose to appreciate them and to acknowledge them and to never take it for granted, to always be thankful.
Yeah, exactly, Jan. Exactly. Exactly. You just can't lose. You just can't lose, you know? And
I am loving this, and I don't know if you can hear me or not.
oh yes, a lot of there you
I'm
are.
playing around with my iPad, and I think now you can hear me, but my goodness, girls, I just miss all of you so much because just hearing what you're having to say is just really amazing and beautiful. So
We
thank
miss
you.
you. We miss
Thank
you. And you are the epitome of a grateful person, Lotta.
Thank you.
Yeah. Did we lose Beverly and Elizabeth? I don't
No,
see
I'm
it.
sorry. We were over here talking, thinking that we
Oh.
were muted, that we were unmuted. So I would say too, sometimes when you are trying to get into a heart of gratitude, it is fantastic to just start a regular practice of it, right? And sometimes you do have to practice. Like, it sounds like gratitude should come naturally and that it's just something that we should all have. But it's like, if we weren't raised around very grateful people, especially if you have been raised around complainers, or maybe you've been a complainer yourself. Hey, it happens to the best of us, right? It's like sometimes you do just need a few good places to start plugging into gratitude, right? So I have just a few suggestions for any of you guys that are wanting to start a practice of gratitude. And one of the most profound places that you will find it having a positive effect on your life is if you have just a small little gratitude practice before bedtime. So when you crawl into bed and you write down 3 to 5 things that you're just grateful for through the day, as deep or as light as you want to go. I mean, you could be grateful for the air that you're breathing. You know what I mean? If you need some low-hanging fruit. But not only will that help bring your heart rate down again, but it will help you release some of the stress from your day and it will help you sleep better. So if you diffuse a little bit of gratitude right by your bed, write down just a few things, just use that and see how it can affect your sleep.
Mhm.
You can also do the same when you wake up. When you wake up, click that little diffuser full of your gratitude and write down another 3 to 5 things that you are just grateful for. Just see what comes to mind. And what that will do is it will actually start wiring your brain to look for things to be grateful for so that you have something to fill those pages with at night and in the morning. And at first, especially if you're just not used to looking for those things, you may actually struggle. You might be like, I'm grateful for this pin that I have that is writing this gratitude on this page. You know, you may really have to search for it, but after a while, you'll start to just naturally begin to find these things. When it comes to your business, there are 2 great places to start as far as gratitude is concerned. One is that you can look up as a report in the Young Living back office everybody who has an oil anniversary that month. Okay, so if you have had your business for more than a year, you will begin to have members that have been a part of Young Living for more than a year. You can pull up that report and just put a little handwritten note right into the mail, just thanking them for being a member of Young Living. Um, you are also able to pull up your people that have loyalty rewards and just every once in a while, just select a few people and get those out. And I think that if you were to make a monthly practice of sending out some oil anniversary gratitude cards and just maybe 2 or 3 others during the month, you would really begin to see your business grow because of gratitude. But you'll start to see this gratitude practice creep up in your life, which I think is an amazing thing. I mean, look at what a practice of gratitude does for you.
Beverly, that is fantastic. And I want to add to what you said. Elizabeth and I meet with a lot of clients in person here in Texas. And one of the biggest things that happens, well, one thing we do is we give people foot massages. You all know that. That's our little claim to fame. And one of the things that often happens during a foot massage is a person will start to tell us some disappointing things that are going on in their marriage. You know, it's just like being at the hairdresser, right? And so, you know, and these are heavy things. These are like really heavy things. And one of the things that we've started doing is encouraging them to write down when they first met their spouse who's they're married to now, when they first met them, what are the qualities that they absolutely loved in that person? You know, whether it was, you know, generosity, thoughtfulness, opening the car door, you know, whatever it was, write down those qualities in that person that you loved about them. And every single day, say to the spouse, honey, I just had a memory and I just want to tell you how much I appreciate XYZ, even if you don't like really feel it, right? But again, you're breathing your oil, you are being very, very conscious about speaking those things out about your spouse. And we've had some really, really good results with that. So just a little tip, a practical tip.
And you-
Well, and I think that goes even for friends. Like what I've started doing on this trip, since I'm not home seeing all the usual people, is just texting them, hey, just thinking about you, how you doing? Hope you're doing well, sending a big hug. And so even though that's not something as detailed as I'm so grateful for you and you're just like my hero of the day, it's still one of those things that helps a person know, that you are really grateful for them being in your life and you still want to keep up with them and all that good stuff.
I think that's so good. And as your mom was talking, and as you were talking, Elizabeth, I was thinking of my grandchildren. I have
Yeah.
3 grandchildren, and I live with 4 of them, and 5 of them are in another state. But just a little note, and just with intention,
Yeah.
thanking them for something they do, thanking them for being a part of my life, and congratulating them on things that they're achieving and accomplishing, but doing it with intention, not
Mhm.
with really wanting them to know that I'm so grateful to have them in my life.
Yeah.
So yeah, customers, spouses, friends, family, it can just spill over.
That's so great, Jan. And that is one of the reasons why the Royal Dream Team has a great longevity, I think, is because we are known for wanting to love on our customers. And, in today's world, people just are so tired of going into a big store and not getting service. And we all need to be loved on. We all need to be cared for. And I think that's one of the reasons our customers are still ordering from us all these years later.
Yeah, I would say that for sure. Um, I love the amount of gratitude and just loving on one another that I experience and that I see in the Royal Dream Team. And it does, when you really have a culture of love and gratitude, it creates such an amazing safe place for people to land. And so it you become like kind of a restful little island in an otherwise chaotic world. Like, not to get super poetic or anything, but it's just so true. And I know back in Colorado Springs, I just had such a circle of grateful, loving people that you would be having the worst day and you could just go sit down and have a cup of tea, and you wouldn't even have to talk about your bad day. You could literally just sit there and sip, and just the weight of the world just falls right off.
Beverly, a very funny memory of you in Colorado Springs, and it was when you were having a bad day and you left work in the middle of the winter. It was a blizzard, and you left your winter coat at my house.
Oh yes.
I'm like, oh my God, we gotta change this. We gotta do something to help
Hey,
Beverly.
when you're focused. That was before Mindwise, but I tell you what, Mindwise definitely definitely helps with the memory. If anybody's wanting to know about that.
Oh yeah.
Mindwise is out of stock right now, but I am like,
so
it is one of those products that I actually backstock.
Okay.
I backstock Mindwise, I backstock Ningxia Red, and I backstock Fimogen because nobody wants to see Bev without Fimogen.
Well, I'd love to hear from Mia. Mia is our lovely international business partner. And Mia, is there anything that comes to your mind about gratitude that you would like to share?
I can only agree with all of you. And I must say that gratitude was a new oil for me. I hadn't tried it before, so I opened it just for today, and I absolutely love it as
Wow.
well. And with the biblical, like you say, with the 2 oils in there, it makes perfect sense
Yeah.
to me. So, and also with all the neuro, what the oils actually do to us physically, it is amazing. And the witch in me is so happy because I think I've been doing this for many generations.
Oh my
But
goodness.
with Young
Oh.
Living, I'm still quite new and still learning, but I have actually decided I am going to become an aromatherapist. So I'm going back to
Oh
school
my
this
gosh,
autumn.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Wow, that's very exciting.
Yes, it is.
Do they have a course that you would take in person or online?
In person, because as much as I love online and being able to connect with people. You know, I need to see
Mhm.
people, and I actually want to work face to face. So that's what I'm going to do. So it's actually
Congratulations.
just in my little hometown. No, not my hometown, but close to.
Okay.
So I'm delighted. It's going to be so much fun.
Oh,
Oh,
how
we can't wait
exciting
to
that
hear
you get
all
to
about
do it
it.
in person.
So good.
We look
so good.
forward to you teaching us some of the stuff that you learned as you're going through your aromatherapy.
You might not be able to avoid it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
You
good.
can have to
Good.
come on. We'll have like Mia's corner, and you can like share some juicy tidbits.
Yes.
Would love to.
Oh, go ahead, Lotta.
No, I'm just listening to, this is just awesome. I'm glad I'm here.
Oh, we're glad you're here too.
Thank you.
Well, everyone, we have a big announcement about a small change that is happening here with Wednesday Wisdom. Okay. And Terry, do you want to make our time announcements?
Yeah, sure. We are actually going to push it forward 1 hour, meaning that every Wednesday, instead of meeting at noon Eastern, we're going to meet at 11 Eastern, 10 Central, and that would be 9 o'clock Mountain and 8 o'clock. And it has to do with many different schedule things that we have been trying to work through. We hope this works for you guys. It does allow all of you to have a little bit more extended time for the rest of your day and not be cutting into your day. And so beginning next week, we're going to start our new time, and we are excited. We're really excited about it.
1 hour earlier. And I think this is going to be great. And don't worry, we will be sending out all kinds of text messages just to make sure that everybody remembers, including to ourselves. Go ahead, Jan.
I was just gonna say, this is fabulous because I have some things that have been conflicting that just started a couple of weeks ago. And so this solves that problem. I won't have to miss either of them now. So thank you. This is great.
Oh, this is excellent.
Awesome, Aunt
Yeah.
Jen. Good news.
Yeah, so we're making, so to our schedule as a whole, there's a few changes that we're making. If you guys follow through and do everything that we're doing, one is that if you have enjoyed Leadership Book Club in the past, we are now absorbing that into the morning clubhouse. Okay, so we're going to be going through these books together just during that from 9 Eastern to 10 Eastern in the morning. A section of our marketing time will be spent on just going through a book. And oh my gosh, we've learned so much just going supplement by supplement through the supplement book. Our ability to be able to talk about and market those supplements has just gone through the roof. Like,
Yeah.
I've actually sold more supplements having gone through that book than I was ever before in the past. And so we're just going to continue that trend and just spend a few minutes of Clubhouse every morning going through a book that somebody has written. And they will be Young Living specific books. It'll be either about, well, for the most part, it'll either be about marketing or business, or it'll be about essential oils themselves. But we will be going through that together, which will be lovely. Then so after Wednesday Wisdom, we will no longer have Leadership Book Club for right now. We're bringing that to a close. The other thing is we were doing a focused follow-up Friday, and we aren't going to be setting aside separate time for that either. We will still be doing Winning the Week, but not focused follow-up Friday. So there you go. There you have it.
But join Winning the Week. I want to plug Winning the Week because I've done this for a year and a half, and it has literally revolutionized my schedule and how I look at last week and the coming week. So please, you don't have to come on every Friday, but it's Friday. What's the time of it?
It's Friday at 1 o'clock Eastern is when we're having it right now. And it's just phone only. Okay.
no
So
video.
there's no Zoom. You just, and it's just instructional. So you just turn it on and you just walk with us as we go through our steps to learn something from the week we just lived, use that knowledge to apply it to the week that is to come, and just really make sure that we're getting our most important to-dos and activities on the calendar. And honestly, by doing something like Winning the Week is how we discovered that if we move our Wednesday Wisdom by 1 little hour, it will actually lead to a lot of very good things. And so anyway, I love it too. Yeah, it's a great time.
Me
So,
too.
well, thank you. Terry, is there anything you'd like to add today before?
I just want to thank
sign
you
off?
so much for the great, great information, Bev, that you shared. In closing, and thank you, Elizabeth, for the ingredients in gratitude. Oh my gosh, thank you for letting us. No, I'm excited. I'm excited. I feel like this can really impact all of us. And going into the fall season, which is it honestly is our most exciting season of the year, is our fall season. So let's implement it. Let's implement it this week. And then next week, we can talk about some fun testimonials of how implementing gratitude has improved our week.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. I love it. I love it. Okay, everyone. Well, thank you so much for coming and for being on. Oh, Mia, did you have something you'd like to add?
Yes, you mentioned books and supplements. Is it possible to get the list of the books you are reading or referring to?
Yes, the supplement field guide is what we're doing right now. And the supplement field guide you can order from Seeds of Thyme, THYME. I will say that it's a great book at a great price. There is a little bit of old information and a few products that we don't sell anymore in there, but like 90% of that book is absolute gold. Oh, Terry, say something. So
Yeah, let me hold it up so Mia can see what
Yeah.
the cover looks
but you
like.
hold it in front of yourself, so it won't be
Okay,
that.
like that.
There you go. Perfect. That's
There you
exactly
go.
what it looks like.
And then, yeah,
Great.
Seeds of
Thank you,
Thyme.
because that is interesting. And I look at all the ones I take and I think, do I need all these?
Exactly.
Why do I need them?
Yeah, this will help you.
Yeah.
It's
Great.
just a
It goes
fantastic
into
book.
every ingredient in the supplement and what that ingredient does. So rather than saying what the supplement does, it says what the ingredient does, which then you know what the supplement has the capability of doing.
Oh, yeah. And I've made some really positive changes to the supplements that I was taking just by virtue of reading through the book. So I actually recommend that you read it from cover to cover. Like, even though it just goes through the supplements and it seems like you should only like pull up a supplement if you want to refer to it, I'm like, don't read it that way. Actually go ahead and take the time to read it from cover to cover, even if you're just doing one or two every day. Your knowledge will expand so much. And one of the things I'll point this out as well is like we have Agile Ease and we have BLM. They both sound very similar. And that book really lets you know, like, listen, if you are preventing joint pain and supporting your joints, Agile Ease is what you're looking for. If you already have arthritis or damage, BLM is what you're looking for. And it just makes it a lot more clear when those supplements are close, which one you should use or recommend.
Yeah, that's so good. It's such a helpful book. So
Yeah,
I've got
really
the
good.
essential oil desk reference and then the supplement field guide. And those are my two main go-tos right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Terry,
Brilliant.
thank
Thank
you
you.
so much as well.
Thank you,
And
guys.
everybody
Thank
for being on.
everybody.
And we will see you next week at 11 Eastern. All right. Bye,
Yeah.
everybody.
Love you.
See you.
Bye,
Thank you,
everybody.
ladies. Bye.
Mwah.